Gerät. Ringe bitte verbinden.
A very good day to you. It's the FISU World University Games, the Rhein-Ruhr 2025 Games. The height of the summer and the height of excitement. Artistic gymnastics and the Messe Essen Hall number 3 as we bring you the all-around final in the men's competition. This is all-around final day. We've also got the women's competition coming up later in our coverage. That gets underway at 7 p.m. local time here in Germany. But for now, our focus is on the men's event. The men's all-around final about to begin. The women's all-around final to come later on in our coverage. You're watching Artistic Gymnastics at Rhein-Ruhr 2025. 18 have made it through to the final. The men's all-around competition. Congratulations to every one of the gymnasts for making it through the qualification process to be among the finest, and now they wish to be the World University Games champion. But who will it be? Good luck to them. These are the gymnasts who qualified as the second highest group, led by Ignacio Yocas of Spain. We have the gymnasts who've qualified as the third highest group, with Kai Uemura coming in as a reserve for Mehmet Koshak. The highest qualifier in that group is He Shang of the People's Republic of China. And we have the top qualifiers, led by that gentleman, Hashimoto Daiki, the Tokyo Olympic champion. So strong with the Japanese men's team in their quest for gold that the reigning Olympic champion, Orka Shinosuke, didn't make it in. We have got a great lineup for you. Hashimoto Daiki, the top performer in qualification, will start on floor. His teammate Kawakami Shohei was the second best in the preliminary round, about a mark and a half behind Hashimoto. And as I mentioned earlier, Orka Shinosuke, the reigning Olympic all-around champion, has not made it into the final. Only 2 per country, the top 2. We do have Kai Uemura in as a reserve for Mehmet Koshak of Turkey. And we've got a great range of gymnasts stylistically. They are fascinating to watch. You're going to see a great diversity of performance. But who will you see lifting the gold medal and placing it around their neck? We'll discover in a short while. Three groups of gymnasts. One group will start on the rings, that's the third highest group of qualifiers. One will start on the pommel horse, the second highest group of qualifiers, and one will start on the floor, that's the top group of qualifiers. Before we get underway, I want to let you know that the Italian gymnast Lorenzo Bonicelli suffered a very unpleasant fall from the rings in qualification. He is receiving medical treatment. It's quite extensive medical treatment, and the full nature of it will become apparent in due course and will be communicated as per the wishes of the gymnast and the gymnast family. But he is in hospital receiving treatment. We wish him all of the very best from the entire gymnastics community, from athletes, from coaches, from judges, from fans, from everyone who is involved in this sport. We wish Lorenzo Bonicelli the absolute best, and the Italian team the best. They chose to withdraw from the competition after he was medically escorted from the premises. Good luck to the judges as they discharge their duties today, superintending this competition, awarding difficulty which starts at 0 and works upwards in the open-ended code of points. Everything that a gymnast does that is part of the code of points will earn them credit. And execution, as I'm sure many of you know, starts at 10 and works downwards. Deductions made for everything the gymnast does that deviates from correct form. And we'll look at that as we go through the competition, as we go through the various rotations. It is time to begin. It's wonderful to have your company. Thank you so much for being with us. Hope you're having a very pleasant end to your week, and it's going to end with 2 great all-around competitions. The men's all-around final starts now. We start with Tim Randiger. Look to the right of your screen and see the Swiss flag and the individual sitting below it. That's his mum. 2-time Olympian in artistic swimming, Karin. She's supporting him. She competed in LA. She dreams that her lad might do the same. Tim Randiger is a lovely gymnast. He's part of the Swiss team that won the bronze medal. He's performing very smoothly here. 13.4 in the qualification phase, and works up very nicely into a dismount. Lovely start, and there she is. That's mum Karin, pleased as punch about that. So will he be. Gets through the nerves of the opening performance. Always tough to start on the pommel horse. He was the 12th best in qualifying, was Tim Randiger. Undergraduate in business informatics at the Distance Learning University of Applied Science in Switzerland, the Fernfachhochschule Schweiz. It's the only University of Applied Science in Switzerland. Very useful for elite athletes to be able to study in a remote setting. Now, we wish good fortune to this young gentleman who's come in as the reserve, the first reserve for Mehmet Koşak. This is Kai Uemura of Stanford University. You may be able to see from his attire that he wasn't expecting to be competing today, but he'll be ready and raring to go. Jonasson into the L position. Nice Jonasson work into a beautiful Yamawaki, very good skill definition. And that's a poised looking handstand too. So is that. Execution wise, this is delightful. Oh dear, that's a beauty of a start from Kai Uemura. It's not enormous in terms of its difficulty, but the crispness of his individual skills and how they all blended together was really quite pretty. Held that landing, held it well. Well, considering that he barely had time to get his competition attire on, he performed superbly. Almost expects him to turn up with his breakfast still in a cereal bowl. Tim Landiger, 13.333. That's almost the same as qualification, only a matter of hundreds down. Let's head to the teammate of Kai Uemura. This is Colt Walker, also of the great Stanford University, one of the finest academic institutions in the United States of America, and one of the finest for men's gymnastics. He is a major in mechanical engineering, and he engineered a 13.566 on floor in qualification. And that's unfortunate. He'll lose a full mark for sitting down that tumbling pass. It's not the easiest beginning for a gymnast who very much is in medal contention looking at qualifying. He was the 5th best overall. Now is an apposite time to make clear that there are no discarded scores in an all-around final. There were discarded scores in the team competition, but not for the individuals. Every number counts. Holds his scale with poise. Well, it had some excellent moments. It will unfortunately have a lower execution score than desirable for Colt Walker, the 24-year-old from the vibrant city of Austin in Texas. It's hard to be sure if he fully does sit that down, but he certainly gets very close to it. He gave everything he could to avoid sitting down. Kai Uemura, 12.6, so he is 4/10 higher than qualification on the rings. Sam Mustafi of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. 18th best in qualification, the graduate of the University of Nottingham. Nice iron cross to open his rings routine and to open his account. Rings was his 2nd lowest score in qualification. Pommel horse was his lowest. He'll finish on the pommel horse. That's well done. We're seeing some good work on this apparatus. The University of Nottingham was founded as University College Nottingham in 1881. It received its royal charter in 1948. It's the first university in the United Kingdom to be formally awarded for its commitment to advancing gender equality. The 22-year-olds competed at the Junior World Championships in 2019. Now really aspiring to go to Senior World Championship competitions. Well, there's Sam Mustafi's suggestion to modify the code of points. He thinks that if Kai Uemura doesn't compete without a shirt, he should get extra points for it. I'll leave you arguing amongst yourselves at home as to whether that should be formally submitted to the technical committee as a new regulation. .433, Colt Walker. That, as we expected, is down by just over a mark from the preliminary stage. He did sit down that tumbling pass. Now to William Emar. Interesting gymnast. He was the 4th best in qualification, part of the Canadian team that won silver. We may get a false sense of Emar's credentials after the opening third of the competition, because he begins on floor and then goes to pommel horse. They are not his strongest pieces, but he is capable of huge scores on the rings, the vault, the parallel bars, and a very high number on the horizontal bar. So watch for him to potentially fly up the leaderboard as we go on. What the first third of his competition is about is maximising what he has got on these pieces. And so far he is doing that. What a nice scale. Very smooth balance. Oh, yeah, lovely landing. Great conclusion from William Emma. That's a job superbly done. And in case you couldn't tell, Team Canada is so motivated at these games. They were phenomenal in the men's team event. And this gentleman made his Olympic debut in Paris, as the tattoo indicates. He was part of the Canadian team that was 8th. And that despite just returning from a bicep injury. Lovely twisting, tucked work to conclude. He's had a great start. Sam Mustalfi scores 12.533. That's a gain of 2/10 from qualification. Anytime you can gain on one of your lower scoring apparatus, as he indicates. Nod of the head, he'll take it. Here's another gymnast who was lovely in the team competition, Pau Jimenez of Catalonia. The Spanish athlete is an undergraduate at the Universidad Internacional de La Rioja. 9th best overall, but he needs something stronger on pommel horse if he is to break into the top cluster. Does get some leg separation. Half a mark deducted if the athlete brushes the apparatus with their body. He does keep it simple, he keeps it contained and controlled. Will it be in advance on the 11.833 he scored in qualification? He will, we imagine, move up the standings a bit on rings, where he was very impressive in qualifying, and on the vault and parallel bars. So another gymnast for whom it's simply on this apparatus about maximising what he has. It's the case for a lot of all-arounders on the pommel horse. Wow, transformation. From 12 to 13.6, he is now absolutely a medal contender.
Come on, man, let's go.
He has changed his entire competition in one routine. Kawakami Shohei from Seisei University, a distance learning institution founded in 2004. And that the year after he was born. Part of the team that won gold and won it by about 1 billion marks. They were dominant, just as the women were. He was the 2nd best overall in all-around qualification. And he's another for whom the second half of the competition could be, frankly, devastating to everyone else, because he's so strong on vault, parallel bars and horizontal bar. Not that he's weak on floor. That's a very acute manner position. Nice extension, balletic scale. Concludes well. That is a compelling start from Kawakami Shohei, part of the team that won silver in Chengdu at the last World University Games, and the team that went one better 2 days ago. So well aligned as he comes out of the double front tuck. Well, I don't know about you, I think this is a brilliant start to the final. 11.466. So for Pau Jimenez, he does get a drop of about 4/10 from qualification. This is a gymnast who has added a lot to the Spanish squad. He was born in the United States of America, in Oklahoma. He attends that university. His name is Ignacio Yocas, and he is superb on the pommel horse. And he is maybe the pommel horse gymnast that Spain really needs. He uses the Buznari skill with effect. His body position is very straight, his heels are very together. He was the 8th best overall in qualification. His clearance is lovely. Can he keep it on the Wendeschwings? Of course he can. Into the Magyar, and the Shivado. He's moving beautifully. He is really moving beautifully. Delightful gymnastics from Ignacio Yocas. The University of Oklahoma was established in 1890. And rather fascinatingly, that was 17 years before Oklahoma actually became a state. So it might be one of the only universities anywhere in the world that actually predates the thing that it's named after in terms of its official establishment. Kawakami Shohei, 13.366. It's not quite a 10th down from qualification. That's absolutely fine in terms of his own credentials, but he'll have to wonder about William Emar now. Kim Jae-ho is the next gymnast to compete. 21st in qualification. A man from the capital city of the Republic of Korea, Seoul. And he is an undergraduate in his home city at the Korea National Sport University. It's a fabulous institution. It was founded in 1977, all because of Yang Jung-mo winning wrestling gold at the 76 Olympics. The government decided to open a state-funded sports school. It's now produced 7 Olympic champions, including the gymnast Yang Hak-son, who many of you will remember from London 2012 in the vault competition. Yeah, it's a very small overarch to that handstand, but he didn't make a big deal of it at all. It was very nicely controlled. Again, you might be able to see there's a little imperfection from true handstand, but it's not great. Oh, he does leap forward on the dismount and does superbly to not take a full mark deduction. It will be quite a lot of tenths gone. That was a big jump. The basic construction of execution deductions, I'm sure many of you know in gymnastics, is small, medium, large or fall. Small is a 10th, medium is 3/10, large is half a mark and fall is a full mark. 14.233, that is beautifully consistent, exactly what Ignacio Yocas scored in qualifying. Now let us catch up with Diogo Soares, the bronze medalist in the all-around competition at the Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires, the first to be held in South America. He is a student at Estacio de Sá University. th best in the overall qualification process. And he really is putting flare after flare after flare, combining them with compelling hand placement. Controls a little leg separation. And he really keeps the movement going nicely up into handstand to pirouette round and dismount. 12.433 in qualification. When he won the bronze medal at the Youth Olympics, he was 6th, if my memory serves me correctly, in the qualification round. Just made little gains on every single piece and put himself in the picture. He is now a senior Olympian as well, having competed in Paris. .766 for Kim Jae-ho represents a drop of close to a full mark from qualification, about 8/10. A lot of that will be the dismount and that large lunge forwards. To the top qualifier, here he is, Hashimoto Daiki of Juntendo, one of the great sporting universities, indeed great universities full stop, of Japan. The man who won the all-around gold medal at his home Olympic Games. It does not get better than that. And he was so good in qualification that he was a mark and a half better than the second strongest qualifier, his teammate Kawakami Shohei. This is very clean looking work, and it's difficult work too. Wonderful symmetrical clearance in the Wendeschwings. Keeps very strong posture in his Y scale. And very good piked work to conclude. His landing was impeccable. That's a great start from Hashimoto Daiki. He only scored 13.066 on floor in qualification. So if there is a place where he could make up the numbers, and that would be terrifying for everyone else, if he can make up the numbers, it's here. I think that's going to be way beyond his qualifying score. Oh, yes, it's almost a mark and a half beyond his qualifying score. 14.366. That is a 1.3 gain, because that's what you need when you're the top qualifier, is to gain even more marks. He Xiang on the rings, 15th best in qualification. Junior World Championship medalist on the horizontal bar. That will be the midpoint of his competition today. Only 19 and the only gymnast from his nation in this final. He Xiang attends the Nanjing Sport Institute in the east of China. That was very sound. He will be confident when he goes to the horizontal bar. What he'll need to do is to change his fortunes on floor. That's his penultimate apparatus. And we'll get a sense of whether he's potentially in contention, because he could be somebody who, despite being 15th in qualification, goes significantly higher in the final. It all will depend on his second to last piece, which is floor. But he might be a stealth mover from the bottom group of qualifiers. .033, that's just over a tenth lower than qualification. And what of Diogo Suarez? Very strong, 13.466, and that is a mark higher than qualifying. So that's an excellent start. At the conclusion of the opening rotation, Hashimoto Daiki is well and truly in the lead, having picked up a mark and a third compared to the preliminary round. Ignacio Llocas of Spain, we expect him to be very high at this stage because Pommel horse is his favourite apparatus. Jesse Moore of Australia, he's also right up there. He performed very well on floor. For Jesse Moore, what he next does on Pommel horse will be particularly interesting because that was his lowest scoring apparatus in qualifying. All-around finals are wonderful things. They're fascinating. They're microscopically interesting from a gymnastics point of view, the little details that make a routine work or not quite work. But they're also macroscopically fascinating when you look at the overall data trends, when you look at the picture as it's starting to emerge, where people might have a slightly false sense of being high or low in the standings, where people have really got opportunity to gain marks, where they've got the opportunity maybe to find it hard to defend a high score. We sometimes talk about that, defending a high score from qualification, where you had particularly good execution. And not everybody runs the race in the same way. Some gymnasts are extremely strong across all apparatus. Some get very elevated all-around scores from one or two portions of their competition. I mentioned William Emar as an example of that, with his parallel bars capacity. So all of that is just a long and convoluted way of me saying to you that I don't really know what's going on, and that's enjoyable, hopefully. Great to have your company at Rhein-Ruhr 2025. Let's have a look at Alexander Kunz, 22-year-old from Bavaria, lovely part of Germany, very different part of the country from where we are in Essen, one of the largest nations in Europe. He was the 11th best overall in qualification, and he scored 13.066 on the rings. Starts with an iron cross that looked perfectly secure, as does his Maltese. He was the reserve gymnast for the German team at the Olympic Games. He did very well just a moment ago because there was some yawing of the rings, and he managed to stabilise them and concludes that performance with a sense of precision. Sam Mustalfi will be the next gymnast to compete, and he's over at the vaulting table. This was a very impressive exercise for him in the preliminary round. 14.133, his single best score. So if he is to factor in the equation, he'll need this to be similarly impressive. And then he'll hope for a big improvement on parallel bars. That's his next apparatus. The vault of Sam Mustafi. Very good. Another well-performed piece of gymnastics from the British athletes. Twisted around beautifully. Keeps the heels together. Good alignment on his landing. That's a very nice Kasamatsu 1.5. Alexander Kunz picks up a 13.033 score. Virtually the same as qualifying. He loses a few hundreds and nothing more. All very manageable. Mattia Pifaretti. He did so well as part of the Swiss team when they won that bronze medal, because he very much was the least experienced of the squad. He didn't have the easiest of starts to his competition, but he picked up and finished so well that he was the 10th best in all-around qualification. Like all of the Swiss men, he is very technically sound. He's precise, he trains well. And he dismounts beautifully. Does take a little step. He'll lose a very small amount for that. But a nice piece of work, and nice to see that dismount on the rings. Gets the knees in very tightly into the Yamawaki skill, the swinging element in the tuck position. He's another who studies by the distance learning method. He's also a sports soldier. What a brilliant beginning from William Emar. From 12 on floor to 13.6. Qualification to final, a totally different story. Now to the pommel horse, this was his lowest scoring apparatus, 12.3. What he does here is going to be very indicative of his overall chances. And he is very controlled. He's a little piked, but that's okay because he's through, and he has delivered probably the toughest portion of his competition. There you go. That's the reaction that indicates he knows he's got through the most problematic section. Now he's into his strengths. He's not weak on the pommel horse, it's just that he's a very big scorer elsewhere. I think he's absolutely a leading medal contender now. He looks full of ferocity too. Sam Mustafi, 14. Just over a 10th lower than qualification, but it's still a very compelling number. We're watching Trang Chialung of Chinese Taipei. He attends the highly regarded Fujian Catholic University. And he vaults nicely. He scored 13.566 for vault in qualification. The execution will be very good. It's likely to be a very similar score to qualify. 12.233, Mattia Pifaretti. So he is down by close to a mark from qualifying. This is Pau Jimenez. Started with a more troublesome apparatus for him, the Pommel horse, but now he's going to compete on the rings where he is particularly skilled. Did well for the Spanish team in the team final, getting 13.633. That was the same as the qualification round for this event. It's a nice way to move up into the Maltese position and then fluidly into the Iron Cross. He may have dropped very slightly low, but not hugely. He did compete here in Germany at the European Championships in Leipzig. Wasn't expecting to be part of it. Came in as a late replacement for Daniel Carrion. Oh, good landing. He was low, but he sprung back up. Now Jimenez doing well. So is he. 12.566 on his likely lowest scoring apparatus. He has picked up almost 3/10. Trang Chalung, 13.5, virtually the same as qualifying. Nice and consistent from him. We now go to Hershang. 13.266 in qualification. And it's a low landing. He was quite piked, quite bent at the midsection. And the execution will be troubled by that. He's going to struggle to reach a 9 score for execution. And with a vault of that sort of difficulty, then trying to get something 9+ is really important. It's going to get a 4.4, I believe, for difficulty. Hashimoto Daiki started so impressively on floor. 14.366. Now to the Pommel horse. That was exactly the number that he produced for this apparatus in qualification. 2 years ago in Chengdu, he had to withdraw from the all-around competition and the rest of the event. And I think it was on this apparatus where he came off. Goes up into the handstand beautifully. He does have a little awkwardness there in the scissoring. His clearance is strong. He looks like somebody who is banishing the memories of Chengdu. He's in control, he's in full control. He doesn't look worried in the slightest. And even if he drops a little here and there, the advantage that he had in qualification added to what he's just done on floor has put him in such a great place, probably mentally as well. Did have that awkwardness where he certainly struck the apparatus. Everything else was extremely clean. Pau Jimenez picks up a 13.733 score on the rings, an improvement of 1/10 from qualifying. Nice routine to watch. And it's an 8.5 or thereabouts execution for He, 12.833. So he has lost about half a mark compared to qualifying. Hashimoto, 14.066. So it is a drop, as we thought it might be from qualifying, but it's only 3/10. Ioannis Chronopoulos, the Canadian team silver medalist, 7th best in all-around qualification. He represents the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. He was a really high-profile part of their team display, and he's going to finish on the horizontal bar, where he is mighty impressive. He's looking perfectly secure. Well done. What a good gymnast. He was the reserve for the Paris Olympic team. Won a medal on the Pommel horse at the National Championships this year. A reminder of the overall good mood that the Canadians are enjoying. William Emar and Ioannis Chronopoulos. Great teammates, great team, the Canadians. To the neighbours of the Canadians, the United States of America. By Uemura. He's part of the team that won the gold medal at the Pacific Rim Championships, a lovely event that brings together so many nations united geographically. He vaults tidily. Got his competition attire now. Somebody must have been in a taxi coming from the hotel. It's amazing. I've seen over the years people come in at the last minute, but I've not seen somebody come in so at the last minute that they didn't actually have their competition gear. And it really was very last minute too. Ioannis Chronopoulos, 13.4. Now, Jesse Moore of the University of Canberra, the reigning Oceania all-around champion. We must catch up with him because he started so well. Score of 14.033 on floor, and that's important because it's a jump of well over half a mark from qualification. And he was the 6th best. Oh, I was about to say he was the 6th best qualifier and put himself into contention, but that may be difficult now. 12.1 on the Pommel horse was his lowest scoring apparatus in qualifying. Now it's about what he can maximise. Keep those deductions as low as possible with every single other aspect of the routine. Even though a full mark is gone, there's still a lot to be gained. There's still difficulty to be had. There's still precision to demonstrate. He's doing it. And he's doing it really well. What strength of character. Great response from Jesse Moore. That was a fine effort. And now the anxious wait for the number. Other than coming off the apparatus, execution-wise, it was very good. People have been medalists in all-around competitions when coming off the pommel horse. 13.333. Kai Uemura, close to qualifying. Tim Randiger goes to the rings. 12.5 in qualification. I remind you, he was the 12th best overall qualifier. Very impressive sportsman as a youngster in a number of fields, including aquatics, like his mother. He was a good swimmer, footballer, also a cyclist. Had his heart set on something artistic. Like so many Swiss people, founded in gymnastics. The Swiss, by the way, as I'm sure a lot of you know, have their own unique version of the rings. Great dismount. He's very enjoyable to watch. A clean gymnast. This is the still rings, hence the code SR that it's given in gymnastics vocabulary. It's often just abbreviated to rings, but the Swiss have their own version called the swinging rings, which are rather higher, and they do, as you would imagine, involve the gymnast principally swinging back and forth. They're often used in demonstration events or team events. All very good fun. Making his family very proud, isn't he? Tim Randiger, the Swiss, nearly had double bronze. They were so close to getting a medal in the women's event. 12.9, Jesse Moore. What he has done is improve upon his qualification score by 8/10. The execution, 7.3, despite the unintentional dismount. That is a brilliant example of maximising when you're up against it, when you come off. He could still be a player in the all-around race, despite that problem. Something I was going to say earlier about William Emar, and I'll mention it now, is that although we call him the 4th best in qualification, which he was, the 3rd best gymnast, Orka Shinosuke, is not eligible for the all-around final because of the 2 per country rule, and the top 3 were all Japanese. So Emar was the 4th best, but in more real terms, the 3rd best, the 3rd of eligible gymnasts. .733, better than qualification for Tim Randiger. Manages to pick up about 2 1/4. Still, the lead is with Hashimoto Daiki. Jesse Moore remains in 2nd place. Sam Mustalfi is high up. William Emar down in 6th position, but watch him, because now he's going to the rings, and he was a very strong scorer on that apparatus. it would be no surprise to see William Emar move up quite substantially after this rotation. Of course, one cannot count chickens before they've hatched. Scores are there to be earned. It starts from 0, but based on what we know of William Emar, based on what we know of qualification, he is likely to improve. There is your leader, Hashimoto Daiki. Kawakami Shohei scored 12.733 on the Pommel horse. I mentioned him earlier as being somebody who we also expect to move up, because he's currently 7th, but he was the 2nd best qualifier. But he has progressed probably through his 2 weakest elements. Jesse Moore will now go to rings. He scored 12.633 in qualifying. And that again was not one of his strongest scoring apparatus, but his second half of the competition is likely to be very good, because he goes to vault, parallel bars and horizontal bar. I think therefore the big takeaways after the first third, moving into this rotation and the halfway point, would be watch for Emar, who's currently 6th, the Canadian, and watch for Japan's Kawakami, who's currently 7th, and see if they move up. He is at the moment 3rd, Sam Mustalfi, and his big test is right now on the parallel bars, because he scored 11.666 in qualification. If he improves now, which he's more than capable of doing, then suddenly he goes from the 18th best qualifier to a complete contender. Potentially, so does this gentleman. He scored 12.266 on the parallel bars in qualifying. He can do a lot more than that. This is very open. The lead is rather clear, but everything else is quite in the balance. What is unfortunate is that Colt Walker, who was the 5th best qualifier, is down in 15th at the moment. We'll have to see if he can make any inroads as we go on. Start he has made, and now he's in his territory. Of course, that's sometimes when things can be most dangerous, when you can be most vulnerable, when you feel you've got through the trickiest bit. William Emar is a very experienced gymnast. He will know that he's got to maintain absolutely full focus. If he wins an all-around medal here, it would be an absolute sensation. It would change how he's regarded as a gymnast. He's always been regarded as a brilliant gymnast, but as a leading all-arounder, that would be really fascinating. And he's certainly capable of being it. William Emar goes to the rings. 6th place. But now, having got through his, in inverted commas, 2 weaker elements based on qualification, he could be in his element. He scored 14 in the preliminary round. One of the best rings routines we saw. That is such a level shoulder presentation. Beautiful. Makes that move up into the planche look effortless. Holds his handstand neatly. How's the dismount? Wonderful! That's how good it is. This time a more muted reaction from William Emar. Almost a sense of, that's what I expected to do, rather than that was better than I did before. He might have gone from being full of fire to full of focus. He'd be making his gymnastics hero, Kyle Schufelt, very proud right now. Senna Spaccarelli of Belgium. First chance to have a look at this bright young gymnast. He produced a personal best all-around score earlier this season to win the all-around gold at a lovely competition called the Luxembourg Open. Managed to qualify for this final as the 17th best. Nice clean presentation with good extension of the body. Beautiful, quick move up into the tip held, and nice toe point as well, a lovely little detail. There was a small loss of form, but he's got some difficult work on the single rail to compensate for that. He's a student of biomedical science. He's used to being precise in the laboratory, and he's used to being precise in the gymnastics arena. Big year for him, and a really important and exciting one. Made his senior European Championship debut here in Germany a couple of months ago at the Leipzig 2025 Championships. Belgian team were 8th. Oh, he's done even better than qualifying by 2/10. This is looking dangerously good from William Emar. Golly. Nice volta, a nice gymnast all over. His technique is excellent to watch. Like so many of the Spanish men, they have an elegant and precise style. He's been a World Cup champion on this apparatus. Small adjustment step, completing his 1.5 twisting Kasamatsu vault. Pretty fully round, with only a minor adjustment required. He just recently won the all-around national title, by the way, Pau Jimenez. 13.166, Senna Spaccarelli. close to qualifying. Hashimoto Daiki. He performs for the third time. The leader, consistently the leader in this competition. The Olympic champion from Tokyo in all-around gymnastics. His ring score in qualification, 14.033. Secure Maltese. Imposing in the iron cross. Beautiful handstand work. Jonathan through to handstand. Really no flicker, even though the rings are moving quite a lot. And that is such a complicated dismount. You must be joking. How did he hold that? Fabulous. He's showing no sign of wavering. Beautiful twisting. Technique is impeccable. Among his many honours, we don't talk about it a lot, but it's important in the context of this event. He is the three-time consecutive all-around Japanese student champion. Five-time reigning all-around consecutive national champion. To win 5 all-around titles in a row in Japan is absurd. 14 from Pao Jimenez. He's 3/10 better than qualification. Is Diogo Soares having one of those days where he is a little better across the board and he suddenly becomes an all-round contender? It wouldn't be the first time. He was the all-around silver medalist at the Pan American Games in Santiago in 2023. 13.7 in qualification on vault. That was lovely, just lovely. That's going to get a very good execution score. The Yurchenko entry vault with the double twist. Not enormously difficult, it has a 4.4 difficulty score, but the execution is verging on impeccable. Hashimoto, 14, only a few hundreds lower than the preliminary stage. Ioannis Chronopoulos of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Ninth place at the end of the previous rotation. There are some wonderful gymnasts who are not going to make it onto the podium. So strong is the standard in this all-around competition. He flickers a small amount, he controls it really well. takes his time to go into handstand, but again, he gets there without losing a great deal. But he's, oh no, the hands have gone down. Almost there. Ioannis Chronopoulos, a full mark, sadly, to be taken away from his score, and in qualifying it was 13.266. He's quite piked as he lands and a little compressed, so there's natural forwards momentum that just carries him over onto his hands. Diogo Suarez, he's done it again, 13.833, better than qualifying. We've got to watch him very carefully. He might be one of those gymnasts who doesn't produce a huge score on any single piece, but his overall consistency gets him right up into that top group. Jessie Moore in 11th position at the moment, but we have gymnasts who've already performed, so not a clear picture of where he really is, because second place is how he finished the previous rotation. .12.1 for Ioannis Chronopoulos. And that does represent a drop of over a mark from the preliminary round. Now, good luck to you, Jessie Moore. This is a big stage of his competition because he has been gaining and gaining. He was the 6th best in qualifying, but he's making a very good case to be regarded as a medal contender. It's no surprise to see Jessie Moore as a thoroughly credible all-rounder. He is, after all, the champion of a continent. But it is lovely to watch what he's doing today. He's going well. He is going well. We didn't get a full sense of what he can do as an all-rounder during the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, because he had a shoulder injury that he picked up during the final. And he did make the Olympic all-around final. He was 21st. Qualified in 15th place, though. Alexander Kunz goes to vault. Really special moment for him, competing in his second World University Games, but this one in front of a home crowd. And that was tidy, nice and tidy. Should get a pretty compelling execution score. Slightly bent over as he lands, but that's a minor feature. He was indicating, I think, on the vault board difficulty of 4/10 higher than this will actually achieve. Yes, he is indicating that Kasamatsu 1.5 for 4.8. So, making the decision to do a very contained and very secure vault. And that will receive a 4.4, what we've just seen. What will this receive? 12.6, only a few hundredths lower than qualifying. Overall, he's well and truly up on his qualification performance. Parallel bars will come soon for Jessie Moore, the rotation after next, and that is one of his strongest apparatus. Now, can Colt Walker get himself back into the picture. He goes to rings where he scored 12.633 in qualifying. He had that unfortunate beginning on floor, sitting down for the loss of a full mark compared to the qualification standings. He was the 5th best overall in qualifying. It's well performed, and he will go to vault next, so there may well be an acceleration in his position. We need to remind ourselves that Group 1 have not yet vaulted, and we've seen vault from many of the other gymnasts. Now, it's not quite as significant as it was in the previous code of points, because all of the men's vaults have had their difficulty value lowered by 0.4, so you don't get as huge an adjustment as you used to, but Colt Walker could still move up a little bit, more than a little bit, in the next rotation. Alexander Kunz with a 13.1 score, and that was indeed 0.4 lower than his qualification performance. To Ignacio Yocas, the Spaniard, who was 4th at the end of the previous rotation. Now, we don't expect a huge degree of difficulty on his vault, but we get a well-performed vault. There is a little imprecision of leg form, perhaps, in his double twisting Yurchenko. 13.333, that's exactly as he performed in qualification. Sam Mustalfi was 3rd at the end of the previous rotation, where he currently sits as 18th, but he is one performance behind very many of the gymnasts that we're seeing on that list. And we'll get a true sense of where he is after this rotation, because parallel bars is where he needs to pick up some numbers. 11.666 in qualifying. It's a nice, assured beginning. Tippelt does well. Largely a hesitation-free move up to handstand. Holds that for an age, makes it look very easy. Always overarched. Or is he? No, he disagreed. Snapped out of that fast. Good save. Good dismount. Okay, that might transform the picture compared to qualification for Sam Mustalfi. Back now in Kent, where his family actually moved from Brighton when he was younger so that he could train with Pegasus Gymnastics. He's now a lead coach for them. He spent the last few years in Nottingham at the Great Notts Gymnastics Club, where he was attending university in that city. We're approaching the halfway point. Colt Walker scores 13.033. He makes a good improvement of 0.4 of a mark compared to the qualification. That's a big difference. 13.266. That is a mark and a half stronger, or thereabouts. All of that takes us to a fascinating halfway mark. Hashimoto is over 2 marks ahead of William Emar. Diogo Suarez from 13th best in qualifying is 3rd. Sam Mustaufi from 18th best in qualifying is 4th. Kawakami Shohei remains lower down the leaderboard. He's in 8th position, and he was the 2nd best in the qualification process. Kawakami, I can tell you, scored 13.266 on rings, but I am now expecting, as I'm sure many of you are, him to move up the standings. And we'll see if that turns out to be the case, but he's into his strong portion of the competition. I would be very surprised if Hashimoto Daiki's teammate Kawakami Shohei is still in 8th position in a rotation's time. But there is the leader, and he's managing to keep William Emar at bay for now. Emar has got Diogo Suarez right over his shoulder, 2/10 behind him. Not literally right over his shoulder, because they're in different groups. Suarez now goes to the parallel bars. Won the silver medal at the most recent Pan American Championships. That gentleman that we just saw, He Shan, could be about to score very highly on the horizontal bar. He picked up 14.2 in qualification. It's very much a signature apparatus for him. At the moment, we have 2 gymnasts from the top group in 1st and 2nd place, a gymnast from group 2 in 3rd place, a gymnast from group 3 in 4th place, and another gymnast from group 2 in 5th place. Isn't that entertaining? So what do you think? Wherever you're watching from, whoever you're supporting, what do you think is going to happen? What is your prediction? Are you in agreement with each other? If you're watching it with company, do they feel the same as you? Make your case now, have your arguments now, do your posting on social media now, and let's see if you turn out to be right. Maybe it's just my natural bias, but I think it's one of the great sporting spectacles of any multi-sport event, an all-around final in artistic gymnastics. Here at Rheinruhr 2025, it is no exception. is he about to make his move? 14.4, 14.633, 14.6 for vault, parallel bars and horizontal bar in qualification. The data suggests he's about to enter his phase of this all-around final. Kawakami Shohei from Ehime in Shikoku Island, right in the southwest of the main Japanese archipelago. But he might be about to look northwards on the leaderboard. 8th position, but likely to move up if all goes according to plan. He is defending some very high scores from qualification in this second half of the final. But qualification is not now. That was 2 days ago. It's about what he can produce with a 0 start right here. Kawakami Shohei first to vault. Yes, well, that has changed everything. Fabulous difficulty, just fabulous. That is the most complicated vault that we have seen so far in this final. That is going to pick up a 5.2 difficulty score. He's about to score 14 plus. Chuang Qiaolong of Chinese Taipei is the next gymnast we're going to look at. First opportunity to see the horizontal bar come into play. He scored 13 1/3 in qualification on this apparatus. That's a nice Kovac. And it's a good straddle catcher. It might have been lacking a little amplitude. You can get a few deductions for that. 0.1, 0.3 potentially. Oh, lovely landing. Just delightful. How smooth that was as he corkscrewed around beautifully. Good arch at the back in the Kovac. Performed it with a little flair. His twisting looked excellent. Arms nicely wrapped into the side of the body. A nod of the head. A wait for the number. A sense that his competition has changed. 14.4. Exactly as in the preliminary round. He is now one we have to watch. Hashimoto Daiki now goes to vault. He scored even higher than Kawakami in qualification, just by a few hundredths. There's so much difficulty to the Japanese vaults that it really has the potential to, in his case, massively extend his lead. And in the case of Kawakami, to push him right up the standings. Both delivering 5.2 difficulty vaults. Totally different vaults. is the double twisting Kasumatsu, engineered by Eric Lopez, the creator of that vault. .333 is exactly what Tran Jialong scored in qualification. Is this going to be where he moves around and goes up the standings? He Xiang, 14.2 in qualification. He won the silver medal on this apparatus at the Junior World Championships in Turkey a couple of years ago. He can be spectacular. His Cassina is smooth. His Coleman also. It's close control work. It's delightful. That's beautiful. He does take some adjustments as he lands, but it is ever so elegant. It's a wonderful example of control power watching He Xiang on this apparatus. By the way, he scored 13.4 on the parallel bars, and that is an improvement of 1.2 almost from qualification. Hashimoto, 14.4, exactly the same score for a different vault as Kawakami Shohei. Next to Ignacio Yocas. 5th position, coming to the parallel bars. Horizontal bar is next for him, and he scored 12.7 in qualifying. So we might be seeing him struggle to not fade away a little towards the end of the competition when compared to some of the other bigger scores, but he's put himself in a brilliant place at this early stage. He's ever so smooth. A gymnast that one feels a great calmness watching, even when things don't go according to plan. Like that, for example. Quick save, disguises it. It's just divine. Super young gymnast. A double major in mathematics and computer science. We might need his skills to actually make sense of the data trends in this all-around competition. I think it's slightly verging on chaos theory. One never doubted him. His mother is from Spain. As I mentioned earlier, grew up in the state of Oklahoma in the USA. He Xiang, 13.666. It's a little lower than qualification. It was a 14.2 in the preliminary round. Let us see Kim Jae-ho. He scored 12.833 on this apparatus in qualifying. I just remind you, he was the 21st best performer in qualification. Made it into the 18-strong all-round final due to the 2 per country restrictions imposed on some nations. Well, they're imposed on all nations, but they only applied to some nations. Sadly, he has to reset his position here. Twists beautifully to conclude that routine, but unfortunately the score will be troubled by that positional reset. He was part of the team that won a bronze at the last World University Games in Chengdu, and one feels very sad for the Korea Republic team because they did have some injury issues to contend with in that final. They had to reschedule, restructure their lineup. 13.566 on the parallel bars for Ignacio Yocas. It's comparable to qualifying, just over a tenth lower. Jogo Suarez scored 13.2 for the parallel bars in qualification. He was third after the halfway point. He's having a brilliant competition. He is what I would describe as the stealth player in this final. There's always one who is just so consistent with everything they're doing that they post compelling numbers that once you add them all up seem almost greater than the sum of their parts. And he's carrying on in that vein. He is in the discussion from 13th in qualification. Now, horizontal bar is next for him, and he only scored 12.8 in the qualifying round. So we'll see what he produces. He's given himself every possible chance. On the subject of people who've given themselves every chance, Jesse Moore, 7th place at the halfway stage, down from 2nd in the rotation before. But he does produce a very good vault. Now that vault doesn't have the sort of difficulty score attached to it that the Japanese vaults do, but the cleanliness attached to it is great. .833 for Jesse Moore, up from qualification by just over a quarter of a mark. 4.4 difficulty, so 8/10 lower than both of the Japanese vaults. Kim Jae-ho, 12.066. Horizontal bar score that's down by about 3/4 of a mark from the preliminary round. William Emar, currently sitting 12th, but well behind those who have already performed one more apparatus than him, so that's not hugely indicative of where he is. Second is where he was at the halfway stage, and his vaulting was strong in qualification, 13.933. William Emar. Done wonderfully. He does take a few adjustment paces, but that will have a high execution score. Now that vault is the 1.5 twisting Kasamatsu vault. We saw from Hashimoto Daiki the double twisting Kasamatsu, so this fault from MR will score 4/10 lower, 4.8 versus 5.2. And Hashimoto scored 14.4, so we'd expect MRs to be around the 14 mark based on the clarity of that performance. And if he does get around there, that will do very nicely. As will that for Diogo Soares. That's another gain from qualification. 13.833 is over 6/10 higher than the preliminary round. Sam Mustafi, 12.866 on the horizontal bar in qualification. 4th place at the halfway mark, having improved so much on the parallel bars. What about on the single bar? Can he do likewise? Gets through the first release and regrasp. And his straight Kachev was nicely performed. But unfortunately, waywardness pirouetting, and he's going to lose a full mark. It's a lovely landing as well. Almost bang on the mark from Sam Mustafi, but in an all-around final that is this tight, almost is regrettably unlikely to get there. And that's the harsh reality of top-level gymnastics. He's given himself a wonderful chance based on the first half of the competition. Oh, that's an excellent execution score, 9.333, 14.133 for William MR. I used to say of another Canadian, the excellence of execution. I'm sure many of you Canadians know who I'm talking about. Very different world, professional wrestling to the world of gymnastics, but MR is the excellence of execution in this final. Alexander Kunz is now taking to the parallel bars. He scored 12.766 in qualification. He's not in the picture for a place on the podium, but he's delivering a very enjoyable display for the German crowd in front of his many fans. And there's no shame in not being in the title picture in a field this strong. Just to make it into it is a huge accomplishment. Most athletes will never get close to this. It's a pleasure. The student of business administration, yet again, does the business. He's quite recently joined a new team in the Bundesliga, the KTV Straubenhardt club in Baden-Württemberg. Very nice place. .533. Now that, unfortunately for Sam Mustafi, is a drop of 1 1/3 from qualification. We're with Sennes Becquerel. With the Jaeger somersault and builds up his sense of swing. don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to seeing him in a lot more all-around competitions. Seamus Beccarelli, a nice, composed gymnast. Obviously has extremely secure fundamental skills. And he's quietly getting a little better every time we see him. .9 for Alexander Kunz. He's up from qualification. It is essentially the law that one must, in any all-round final, watch a Swiss gymnast on the parallel bars because they are so good on this apparatus. It would be wrong not to catch up with them here. This is Mattia Pifaretti. Very nice gymnast on the parallel bars. I hope that Mattia Pifaretti comes out of this experience a more confident gymnast, because he's looked really at home as he saves that so well. He has looked really at home in a team of more internationally seasoned gymnasts, and that's not easy to do. The third best on the parallel bars at the Swiss National Championships this year, at the same time as finishing 16th in the all-around competition. Hope that he's okay. Obviously in a bit of trouble wringing out his right arm. 12.4 is only 1/10 lower than qualifying for Seamus Beccarelli. We are about to start the penultimate rotation. The men's all-around final in artistic gymnastics at Rhine-Ruhr 2025. All of the action coming to you from Essen and the Messe Essen Hall number 3. A lovely combination of sports in one place. Mattia Pifaretti scores 12.533. Here are the standings with 2 rotations to go. Hashimoto is in the lead still. Emma is second, Suarez third, but the gap between first, second and third is growing, and Kawakami Shohei, as we predicted, has gone flying up by 4 places into 4th position, and he's going to be right over the shoulder of Diogo Suarez now. What a display. Look at those numbers. And he's about to go to the parallel bars where he scored 14.333 in qualifying. For William Emar, this is another big moment in his competition because he scored 14.966 on the parallel bars in the preliminary round. He could really get 1 foot on the podium with what he does here. For Diogo Suarez, who is currently third, the qualification data makes slightly troublesome reading. His job will be to not care about that and just get out there and do his job. But he scored 12.8 on the horizontal bar in qualifying, and Kawakami Shohei scored 14.633 on the parallel bars. Suarez scored 13.366 on floor, that will be his last piece. Kawakami scored 14.6 on horizontal bar, that will be his last piece. So unless something goes quite far from the ideal plan for Kawakami now, he will overtake Suarez. And that is what really we hypothesized at the very start of the broadcast, that Kawakami was likely to be a low liar until the second half. Is very much in his element on the parallel bars. Kawakami Shohei. Last year he won the bronze medal at the All Japan Super Specialist Championships. More recently he won the bronze medal in the all-around competition at the NHK Trophy. That is a best of the best competition in Japan. It's one of the most keenly watched, not just in that country, but it's followed hugely by gymnastics fans all over the world. It's where they take the finest performers from the national championships and create an elite group. And if you make it into that elite group in Japanese men's gymnastics, or indeed in Japanese women's gymnastics, you are quite superb. The Japanese men's squad has among the greatest strength in depth of any sporting squad anywhere in the world, let alone in gymnastics, just any sport. Ignacio Yocas will now perform on the horizontal bar. He scored 12.7 in qualifying. He was 6th at the end of the previous rotation. Piked Kachev, good pike position established. And a similar degree of definition in the straddle variation. Pirouettes nicely. That's very much a developing apparatus for him, but the signs are so exciting. Across the board, Ignacio Llocas is a great asset to the Spanish team. He's got high quality technique, which is something that aligns him well with the rest of the Spanish men's team, but he has that different sphere of experience that comes from being in the American collegiate system. The Olympic champion in all-around gymnastics from Tokyo, Hashimoto Daiki, is leading the way with 2 rotations to go. He has an advantage of almost 2.5 marks over William Emma. It's a commanding lead. He's at the stage where he could go into the final rotation, giving himself the luxury of a fall or even 2 to spare off the horizontal bar. Not that he usually needs that luxury. Beauty of a Bavzar. That is extraordinary poise and power once more from Hashimoto Daiki. There's little sense of drama about top spot, just as there has been for the Japanese throughout in the men's and women's team competitions. It's looking the same in the individual events. We all like drama on television, but sometimes it's insulting to create a false sense of it. We can't do that with Hashimoto. He's well and truly in front. 12.533, Llocas on the horizontal bar, close to qualifying. The crux of Diogo Suarez's competition is about to happen. 12.8 on the horizontal bar in the preliminary round. He's done brilliantly to be 3rd at this stage. It's whether he can hold on to that against what is going to be a stern challenge from Kawakami Shohei. All of this being performed in a very assured way. It's not a routine that, again, you might necessarily pick out in a final as a show-stopping, show-stealing moment, but it is another performance from Diogo Suarez that is extremely professional and extremely compelling. Wherever he ends up, he's looking like he's going to be well beyond 13th. 14.3. Hashimoto is virtually where he was in qualification. William Emma has the chance to make up some ground on him in this rotation. Ioannis Chronopoulos will be the first Canadian to go. He scored 12.966 on parallel bars. Was in the qualification round, which doubled as the team final, where the Canadians won a spectacular silver medal. He has slipped out of the top 10. More really because others have just come up beyond him than anything else. Another display from a gymnast who is increasingly becoming important to the Canadian team, Ioannis Chronopoulos. someone who deserves that moment of focus after he served his team so well as a reserve. It's certainly moving a little awkwardly, though. When you think about all that the Canadians gave to win that team medal, amazing that they've got anything left in the tank. This is excellent from Diogo Soares, 13.566. He's up by 3/4 of a mark from qualification. Tim Randiger. This is one of his best apparatus. It was his second highest score in qualifications, 13.733, only behind Volt. He performs a very controlled Cassina. He then executes the Coleman with a comparable degree of precision. Dances wonderfully across the bar in the pirouette. And he is rock steady again. Excellent games from Tim Randiger. Instrumental to the Swiss team. He looks so different from the last World University Games, where he came in after having had a bad foot injury at the end of 2022. 13 for Chronopoulos. It's a few hundreds up from the preliminary round. This is one of Jesse Moore's best apparatus. He won his first World Cup medal earlier this season in Qatar. It was silver on this apparatus. Has some very sharp execution. All of his handstands are full of control. Incredibly straight body. Diamondov, wonderful. Gosh, the execution of that was fabulous. A tiny move on the landing, that is all. That was one of those parallel bars routines where every single handstand made you wonder if your picture had frozen. Fifth place, Jesse Moore at the end of the last rotation. Tim Randiger, 13.4. A third of a mark down from qualifying. Very good though. Alexander Kunz will be the next gymnast to compete on the horizontal bar. This was his second best score in qualifying, 13.466. another lovely assured performance from Alexander Kunz. Oh, no wonder he's absolutely beaming. They do say in the German team that he has broad shoulders and a smile that's as wide. Just saw it there. What a lovely character. 13.966 from Jesse Moore. It's only 0.2 down from qualifying. A little of that will be down to the dismount. Sam Mustafi. Well, he was doing extremely well after rotation 3. He was 4th, dropped out of the top 10 courtesy of the horizontal bar. Now he goes to floor, where he scored 13.766, one of the best floor scores in the team competition. So you wonder if he might be about to make a reappearance in that top cluster. Oh, what a tough landing. Good that he gets back up and seems all right. Well, that's the main thing, irrespective of the score, is that Sam Mustafi's okay. Well, that was a very unusual conclusion. He's leaning quite far forwards as he lands anyway, which rather exacerbates it. Well, that's good. That's the main thing. 13.466, exactly the same as qualification. He's having a very good final. Trying to push towards the top 10. He was 11th in qualification. Can William Emar possibly match the beautiful display that he produced in the parallel bars portion of the team final, where he received a score almost of 15 marks? He's been spectacular today. Every single performance has been better than qualification. This might be one of those cases where it's just about getting close to qualification. So strong was he in the preliminary round. This is enthralling. Beautiful straddle front. Everything about this is clean. Has he ever been better in his entire career? What we are seeing right now from William Emar is top class. Right at the peak. This is all around excellence. Absolutely thrilling gymnastics from the Canadian. Sam Mustafi scores 12.666. Senne Spacchiarelli. will now compete on floor.
666 follows top me on floor. Next gymnast ready to compete on floor.
He scored 12.5 on this piece in qualification. Return to what I've said every time that we've seen him, that he is growing in stature as an all-arounder, but he seems to be growing in confidence as a gymnast. He does go somewhat hesitantly into his diagonal armed handstand. The balance position, the scale, that was not hesitant at all. Accumulating a few landing deductions along the way. But not at the conclusion. Well done, that young man. He is right to enjoy what he's doing right now. Elite athletes know. They know when it's going well. William Emar scores 13.9, so that is a drop compared to qualification, only a 5 for difficulty. That's the first time that he has been down, but as I said at the start, it was more a case of trying to get as close to that number as possible. Kawakami Shohei. 14.633 in qualification. He will have his sights set on going beyond William Emar. He may be able to accomplish it. Impressive hold at the conclusion. Now then. So next Spiker Elite, 13.033. Chuang Chia-Lung, Chinese Taipei. Chance to catch up with his work on floor. The gymnast who scored 13.366 on this apparatus in qualification. is very aesthetic to watch. Good technical gymnastics from Trancello. Have a look back at those powerful flares that he performed. Some steady, secure landings from the 20-year-old. So for Kawakami Shohei, 14.733, higher than qualification. He is well positioned, second place. I'll just give you an extra little detail, by the way, about William Emar on the parallel bars. 13.9 was his score. I had slightly oversold his qualification score. Misread it, 13.766 in qualifying, so I did him a disservice when I said he actually was lower. He actually improved again compared to qualification. So William Emar has, across all of his apparatus, been better than the qualification round. Absolutely fantastic from the Canadian. But no surprise that we've seen Kawakami make a big move up the standings. Chalung of the Fujian Catholic University that was founded in 1925, one of the oldest in the region. 13.233 is his score for a very nicely performed floor exercise. And this is where we now find ourselves. William Emar is in third position. Kawakami Shohei has narrowly gone in front of him by only around a tenth of a mark. Hashimoto Daiki, look at that lead he's got at the top of the table. It is so impressive. And Diogo Suarez, who was the 13th best in qualification, is fourth. Jesse Moore, fifth, having been the sixth best in the preliminary round. We go to the last rotation. Gymnastically, in so many ways, the talk of the town will be Hashimoto Daiki, just for the sheer excellence of those numbers, those extraordinary scores. Oh, and by the way, he's now performing on the horizontal bar, where he is the reigning champion of the world. Kawakami Shohei scored 14.6 on the horizontal bar in qualification, a third of a mark lower than Hashimoto. Emar scored 13.633 on the horizontal bar in qualification. Emar is very well positioned to hold on to third place. He has been fantastic. It all was transformed by that floor performance, that 13.6. compared to his qualification display. He knew it from the moment he'd finished. And we always knew that the latter portion of the final, starting with rings, would be where he had the potential to move significantly up the leaderboard. And he's lived up to pre-match billing. He has gone beyond pre-match billing. Improvement after improvement, every single one of those scores better than qualification, just like he did when he came to the attention of the world at the Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires. to win the all-around bronze medal, having been the 6th best qualifier. It is captivating, and it is regrettably coming to a conclusion. The last moments of contemplation for these athletes. So let us remind ourselves of what we're going to see. Hashimoto Daiki will perform on the horizontal bar, where he is the reigning champion of the world. Kawakami Shohei will also perform on that apparatus, as will William Emar. They are all the top 3 performers. We'll wait to see now whether anyone else from outside can challenge and break into the top 3. Like Diogo Suarez, for example, will be on floor. He scored 13.366 in qualification. Diogo Suarez. He's having a wonderful competition. The 23-year-old from São Paulo State in the southeast of Brazil. .366 in qualification. He'll give it everything he has to get onto the podium. That's low, and he may have sat down. Great flares. Up to handstand. Onwards and upwards. Secure scale. Again low, again close to the ground. Quite a substantial number of execution deductions to be taken. A fabulous display nonetheless. An absolute treat to watch him in this final. Diogo Suarez, the Brazilian, who as the 13th best in qualification has been right up in the forefront of our minds throughout this hugely entertaining men's all-around final. I'm not sure he did touch there. Ioannis Chronopoulos. He is very exciting on this apparatus. If all goes according to plan, you'll be in for a treat. Well-performed Coleman to start. And a good pike catcher. A good straddle catcher too. Gets real power and height in that dismount. That's super. That is super. He's had a great competition. Well done to you, Ioannis Chronopoulos. He's 5'10", tall for a gymnast. Very. It is 12.366 for Diogo Soares. That is a whole mark lower than qualification. Those two low landings rather costly. Tim Randiger is going to conclude on floor just as Diogo Soares did. He scored 12.4 in the preliminary round. That's nice twisting to open. He was only a mark away from the podium in the all-round competition at the last national championships. He seems to be finding his peak form as he goes into his mid-20s. Takes a little step out, but will only carry a 10th penalty. Very well done. Mum, so proud watching on. Herself a two-time Olympian in artistic swimming. Can you imagine if, with his mum having gone to Los Angeles when artistic swimming was introduced to the Olympic Games for the first time, he's there in Los Angeles in 2028. Ioannis Chronopoulos, 13.5. Nice controlled gymnastics on the horizontal bar. Let's see the last work of Jessie Moore. 13 in qualification. Oceania's finest all-around gymnast. He's proven why today with a great campaign. Not sure that that was quite the right direction. Unfortunately, he's had to reset his swing. Gone straight into two well-connected release moves. That will help. He's recovered excellently. Just got the clearance with the straight Kachev. A lovely finish to his campaign as well. Jessie Moore gets huge applause from his teammates and from the stands. Did have a pronounced problem early on when he had to reset the direction of swing, but his release moves were wonderful. He really has had such an entertaining and impressive final, Jessie Moore. Tim Randiger, 12.5, better than qualification. He's currently in the silver medal position. I can tell you that Diogo Soares is leading. A lot still to come. Let's finish with Alexander Kunz. Now he really is taking centre stage. has lived up to the occasion. It's a slightly wobbly scale. I'll lose a little for that, but it won't be huge. Lovely that the final tumbling pass is really well performed from Alexander Kunz, the 22-year-old in his second World University Games, getting his moment in the spotlight, having missed out on the Olympic Games and being such a good team player as the reserve. He's had to wait for his international opportunities and he's made full use of them. Jesse Moore is now in the gold medal position, 12.966 with a horizontal bar. A score of 80.298. We go to Colt Walker. We've rather lost touch with Colt Walker's campaign because of the first performance on floor being far from the score that he was intending to get, but he has moved up since then, and he was sixth at the end of the last rotation, so he's finishing really strongly. He does perform a nice Coleman, and he performs maybe an even nicer Kovac. Kachev, a decent amplitude, that one more so. He's finished well, moving back up, really moving back up. He was ninth at the end of rotation number 4, having not been in the top 10 at the halfway stage, sixth after the last rotation. It might be that the finish line is a little too close for him to go any further. He'd probably love to go back and have another crack at that floor routine, where he took a seat on one of the early tumbling passes. Currently in 5th place in the all-around competition, Alexander Kunz with a 13.166 score. Mattia Pifaretti, who was 10th in the qualification process. Can he make a push for the top 10? Two very stable landings to start. Make that 3. What a fantastic floor routine that was. Quietly, calmly nods his head. Mattia Pifaretti, bronze medalist with the team. And as I've said already, the least experienced of the Swiss team coming in to these games, but he has not looked like it. One hopes to see a lot more of him. Colt Walker is in the bronze medal position as things stand, 12.9 on the horizontal bar, down by about half a mark from qualification. And here he is, William Emar. Now he's currently in 12th position, but he doesn't need an enormous score to go beyond Jesse Moore. William Emar scored 13.633 in the qualification round. That would comfortably put him into the gold medal position now. The man from the Université du Québec à Montréal is looking in control of his destiny. Here we go, big test, passed. And the next, what height on the Kachev. And into the dismount, William Emma! He has been outstanding. The all-around campaign of his career. From the moment he started, from the first tumbling pass, all those rotations ago on floor, he was in the race. He has not disappointed, he has not wavered. Explosivity in his reactions, explosivity in his gymnastics. Huge effort, huge numbers, huge reward. It's on its way for William Emma. In 10th place at the moment, Mattia Piforetti. And a 13.9 on floor. What a nice performance. That's about a mark and a half better than qualifying. Here's Pau Jimenez. He's the next to go on floor. The Spanish all-around national champion from last month's competition in Pamplona. Two hugely memorable all-around contributions from the Spaniards. Pau Jimenez and Ignacio Yocas. Lovely, stable conclusion. Splendid Spanish gymnastics. He's still such a young man. Only 21. Into the gold medal position goes William Emma, 13.333 on the horizontal bar. But now we see what he can do. Needing 13.23 plus. So essentially 13 and a quarter. Kawakami Shohei, and he scored 14.6 in the qualification phase. 14.6 for a fabulous routine. So far, so good for the 21-year-old. This is going to be a big test, and the Cassina is a test he passes, just as Emma passed all of his. He's a little wild on that pirouette, but he's on and still going. And there, gains the clearance he needs, keeps the swing. Coming out of the full twist. We're coming to the end of the twists and turns of this competition. More Japanese magnificence. sporting there. William Emar just nods his head, applauds, and says, wow. As we all say wow whenever we watch Kawakami Shohei at his second World University Games. He's going to pick up more honours. That will go into the gold medal position with one gymnast left. He was fourth at the Asian Games, Kawakami, in the all-around competition. He was so disappointed. 13.766 for Jimenez. Half a mark better than qualifying. But back to Kawakami, he will be overjoyed with what's about to happen here. To Ignacio Jokers, who's been thrilling. Clean and tidy gymnast. He'll finish on floor. 12.633 in the team competition. Another excellent example of the sharpness of his work. His scale is tidy. Remember this young man, Ignacio Jokers. Remember him well. We will see more and more and more of him. That is clear, particularly on Pommel horse, where he represents something very special for the Spanish team. Easily into the gold medal position and on the podium, Shohei Kawakami of Japan. 14.9. It's 0.3 better than qualifying. But look who it is. Oh crikey, it's Daiki, and he's about to do what he does so well. Hashimoto Daiki, the world champion on the horizontal bar and in the all-around competition, and the Olympic champion on both in Tokyo. He finishes needing a score of only just beyond 12.25 to take the gold medal. He has margin for error. Will he need it? He may well do. 14.933 in qualification. Things have just become unexpectedly extremely intricate. That's the first problematic moment he's had over 2 days of competition. But that was all right. And as long as he keeps it going, he might be fine. There seemed to be a moment of hesitancy. when it comes to an all-around competition, it's about building up an advantage in time for the final performance. He's hit his dismount. He hit virtually everything in that routine. Has he built up a sufficient advantage to beat Kawakami Shohei? Or is Kawakami, the man who missed out at the Asian Games, going to beat the Tokyo Olympic champion, having beaten the reigning Olympic champion in qualification, and run him out at the all-around final? Can you imagine if Kawakami Shohei manages to do that? But I remind you, only just over 12 1/4 required for Hashimoto Daiki. So he did build up a very big cushion. Yes, he loses a full mark early on, but there is a lot of activity in that routine. And we remind ourselves as well, just to add more to this picture, that Hashimoto Daiki was not able to finish the all-around final at the last World University Games. He was injured on the pommel horse and withdrew from the rest of the competition. So he's been waiting and waiting and waiting for 2 years for this chance. It's going to be Japan, but which one? Kawakami Shohei or Hashimoto Daiki? He should have enough of a margin. He has got it. 13.133. The gold medal for Hashimoto Daiki. 2 years after he couldn't complete the all-around competition in Chengdu, he is the World University Games all-around gold medalist. This is exactly what we were talking about throughout, building up score after score after score to give himself margin for error at the very last. But well done to Kawakami Shohei. It ends up being a gap of close to a mark. And the Canadians, well, he can't keep them off the podium. William Emar, after winning silver with the team, has all-around bronze. He wins it by 1.5 marks over Jesse Moore. And we'll just say a special word to Diogo Soares, the Brazilian, who finished 5th, having been the 13th best in qualification. There are your top 3 representatives of the Université du Québec à Montréal, of CESA University, and of Juntendo University. What a gymnastics competition for the Japanese team. They've won every single one of the gold medals so far. But it hasn't been half bad for Canada either. For the Canadian men's team, a World University Games sweeter than the taste of maple syrup. He has won so much, and he really wanted this one. He wanted to be the World University's all-around champion so desperately. The Japanese are so proud of their university-based training system. There was a tipping point several decades ago, where for the first time at an Olympic Games, Japan's representatives were more university-based than corporate-based. They've earned that moment. Hashimoto Daiki is your men's all-around champion in artistic gymnastics at the World University Games. Kawakami Shohei, his teammate, takes second place in silver. William Emar of Canada is the bronze medalist. Jesse Moore very close. Jogo Suarez way up from 13th in qualification. And a strong finish from Colt Walker despite a tough start to his campaign. We look down the order at all of the gymnasts who played their part in such an enjoyable competition. It was very unclear for some time as to who it was that was going to make up the top three, but in the end it turned out to be the top three from qualification. What excitement. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we all did here in the arena at the Messe Essen Hall number 3. Well, how on earth do we take stock of all that we have seen? How do we take stock of that all-around competition? Let's start by reminding ourselves of how the race was run and how the medals were won. It is time for scenes of celebration at Rhine-Ruhr 2025 in the FISU World University Games Summer.
Third place and bronze medalist representing Canada.
Dritter Platz und Gewinner der Bronzemedaille für Kanada, William Emmer.
Second place and silver medalist representing Japan.
Zweiter Platz und Gewinner der Silbermedaille für Japan, Kawakami Shoei.
First place, gold medalist and Rhine-Ruhr 2025 FISU World University Games champion representing Japan.
Erster Platz, Gewinner der Goldmedaille und der Rhine-Ruhr 2025 FISU World University Games für Japan, Hashimoto Daiki.
Ladies and gentlemen, the FISU anthem.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, die FISU-Hymne. Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, Ihre Rhein-Ruhr 2025 Medaillengewinner.
And there they are, the medalists in the men's all-around competition in artistic gymnastics of Rhein-Ruhr 2025. Wasn't it a magnificent spectacle? As the medalists depart, so do we, but not for too long, because at Rhein-Ruhr 2025, the FISU World University Games summer, we have another all-around final to bring you. It starts in about 3 hours' time. So join us at 5 minutes to 7 German time, whatever that is for you, for all of the coverage of the women's all-around competition. That's it for now, but much more to come. Until then, goodbye, but not farewell.